All
totally.
right, this is Rantzerker number 76, the after show. Go ahead.
Stop flirting with Remy, Karen.
What? I would absolutely.
Yeah, but he's not even responding to you. Like he's just look of horror
I
in
would
the chat.
Mike Buchanan was watching us, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
he commented in the chat a couple times.
Jesus, this is really like lowbrow for Mike.
No, he likes humor.
Okay, sorry. So okay, so I shouldn't apologize for it being so fucking lowbrow to him.
Not to be off topic, but you were talking about the sweet poison. It's ethylene glycol. It's antifreeze.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, but that just makes you go blind.
No, it crystallizes in your brain and your kidneys and your liver, and it kills you slowly.
Oh, yeah, it does kill you slowly, but you have to, eat a lot of it over a period of time.
Mm.
But that's the only sweet poison that I know of.
Not nearly as effective as bleach.
Well,
I think
apparently
arsenic is also.
Cyanide
Or is it
smells
cyanide?
like all. Okay, fucking fuck. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You lesbian separatist. Where the fuck are you?
Obviously on Lesbos.
Ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sapphos, whatever the Amazonian island was in DC. I think it's Sapphos. No. Oh, got a full house, I think. Nope, just 8. There's 2 more.
So I got invited to Washington State University in Pullman
Mm-hmm.
to speak, and the guy said, in his email asking if I would be interested, he said, the university covers all expenses for speakers. And I was like, sure, I'll go down and give a talk. And then he came back a few days later and said he'd talked to the university, and after the whole thing at Berkeley, they've decided that they're no longer paying for speakers to come. They are essentially they've been spooked by the riots at Berkeley.
Whoa.
You see, this is what's sort of like, I don't know how to take this. I mean, I understand, like, I'm not saying Milo is to blame for any of this, of course, but what is okay, you go on tour, you incite riots. No, sorry, he doesn't incite riots. People who can't stand free speech create riots to try to prevent him from talking. But where do we go from here? Now they are successfully spooking college administrations and preventing other people from talking. And they're only getting worse and worse. So what's what I'm getting at? And it's not. I guess I don't know if it's a criticism of Milo, but you keep going on the tour. People get more and more violent and aggressive, and yes, we all know they're violent and aggressive, and they are anti-free speech. Now what? Now what do we do? Do we just keep inciting this bigger and bigger and bigger until it turns into a fucking civil war?
Well,
what do we do?
Here's the thing. There was this Asian kid who did a little speech in front of Shia LaBeouf's "He Will Not Divide Us" little fucking camera thing, essentially saying, like, you guys are trying to drag everybody else down to your level with your identity politics, and this is why you lost. This is why you lost. Here I am, an Asian guy, standing here with another Asian guy, a black dude, and 2 white dudes, right? And I'm here to tell you why you lost. And you are normalizing violence. You are normalizing violence. You are calling people like me Nazis in order to be able to justify being violent against us. And you are going to provoke something that you will not be able to handle, because take a freaking good look at middle America and at the working class. Look at yourselves. You are outnumbered. You are outmanned, and you are outgunned. You will not win. If you provoke a war, you will not win.
Well, it's not that they're outnumbered. It's more that they're outgunned.
Yeah, well, and because, like, the people who are all saying, we want a revolution, we want a revolution. Where's my safe space?
Well, I'd also want to point out that for the sake of perspective, Milo has visited an enormous number of colleges on his Dangerous Faggot tour. But there's only a handful of incidents of rioting. Well, actually, there was only a couple of instances of what you might even consider a riot, and a few instances of protests. But most of the visits went off without a hitch. But we're not hearing about those because it's not news. So I think that it's not as even it's not as even a response as it might appear, because I think that in most cases people are either indifferent or they don't care, or maybe they don't like him but they're basically like, well, I just won't go to the thing. And then you have a few outliers like DePaul and UC Berkeley and University of Washington and University of Wisconsin, where they freak out. And various, and that expresses itself at various degrees of outrage. But I think that for the most part, Milo has been successful. Plus, after the University of Berkeley thing happened, pre-orders for his book went to the top. They were #1 on the bestseller list, even though the book's not even out yet. So there are lots of people that want to hear what he has to say.
Before the riots even.
Yeah.
It's been up there for a while, but it's still up there.
I mean, basically what happened was there was a guy that had a modest platform from conservative parts of universities across the country that wanted him to come speak, and the rioting and the protesting and all of the shit that come out of it has actually launched him into the stratosphere and made him
Tony,
far
could
more
you mute
popular.
when you're not talking? Because it's you're getting a lot. We're getting a lot of feedback from you.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, what I'm saying is that if you put it in perspective, it's not as though I think the majority of people are either indifferent or they're actually in support of him coming out and speaking. Plus, there's that article that I talked about yesterday, where someone, I think it was on The Guardian, but I can't remember for sure, essentially said, no, it was Huffington Post, and they essentially said that as a liberal student, they still want Milo to be able to go to campuses and speak, and that it would be better if we're going to beat him, we got to do it on the grounds of making better arguments. So I think that there is it's probably less dire than it appears.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that, and I would actually suggest too that if you look at Sargon's latest video about people NEETs LARPing as revolutionaries. And how Antifa is essentially a bunch of middle-class, bottle-fed kids who are LARPing as, radicals and all of this, right? He plays a clip of a bunch of Antifa people. They're holding up traffic. They're freaking, making a nuisance of themselves in their little head-to-toe black. And the police come in and start arresting them, and everybody on the sidewalk starts applauding, including, an old lady, black people, fucking everybody is applauding the police. Thank you for doing your jobs. Thank you for getting rid of these fucking idiots, right? Like, the Antifa does not have popular support. They have what appears to be popular support in terms of the media being able to make excuses for them, and the mainstream media being the gatekeepers of information, at least, in terms of the mainstream, right? And so there is this sort of disconnect between what gets reported in the, so the mainstream news, the mainstream media, and what people actually feel on the ground. And I've been seeing this disconnect for quite a while in terms of, like me coming out and saying to the lady sitting next to me on the plane, oh yeah, no, I'm going to Atlanta, I'm going to Georgia to give a talk on, why I'm not a feminist, and why I think men's educational opportunities are being hindered by modern society, blah, 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 right? And she'll be like, it's about time somebody started talking about it. right? It's not. I don't get the bad reaction of, oh my God, you're an evil anti-feminist, and you're a horrible misogynist. So I've been seeing a complete disconnect between what's on the TV and what is actually, and you can see it in the Audi commercial, right? The Audi Super Bowl commercial with the go-karts and the fucking, the pay gap thing, that the like to dislike ratio and everybody in the comments just lambasting them, and people on Twitter just absolutely like ripping them to shreds over that. And I mean, the establishment is completely out of touch with what the mainstream society, where all of our heads are, and Antifa has this kind of, because they're being given a pass largely by the mainstream media, they have this impression that they are that they're fighting for ordinary people when ordinary people have no fucking patience for them.
Well,
Did you
you don't
find the
have to.
lesbian-
What? Oh, you don't actually have
find
to
the
be.
email, Jan?
Sorry, what?
Did you find the email?
I did. I have it open here.
Okay,
Okay.
you don't actually have to be a majority in order to look like a majority if you've got every bit of the establishment rooting for your team.
Of course, and that's really the way it's been, and I don't know how long it's been this way. It's only since the internet became completely ubiquitous and alternative media began to spring up on the internet, that we've seen people realizing that, that the picture that the establishment is painting is not it's not a self-portrait of America or Canada, right? It's actually a fiction. But I did want to read this because this was an interesting email that I got just yesterday in the evening. And I'm not going to give her name, but the subject line says, "Lesbian separatist swayed by your vids. Thank you for your forthrightness, competence, and boldness. Do you have video or piece of writing explaining a bit more biographically how you came to the men's rights movement?" Biographically is perhaps intrusive, but that is precisely what I mean. "I found my own, as of yet formative, shaky footing in lesbian separatism after negative experiences with men and with heterosexual women who defer to men.
Big shocker.
Yeah, it is difficult for me to consider men's rights, but recognize it to be necessary in any robust critique of a corporatized feminism that is, as you have addressed, theoretically flawed in myriad ways, perhaps in all of its myriad branches. I imagine you receive many emails, but I am humbling myself here and sending one off anyway. All the best to you." Well,
Somebody saw the light.
I don't know. I don't, like, she's just
Or
said,
got a glimpse of it anyway.
yeah, no, she's saying, okay, this is interesting and I'd like to know more. So yeah. And
Not seen the light yet, looking towards it, going, what is that?
yeah, I think so. And so I'm going to write back to her and maybe start a discussion. Just because I find it like I've as much as I appreciate the emails from men who thank me for what I do, and and making them feel like there's hope and all of those things, or making them feel like even if they don't think that there's hope, that at least they understand what's going on, so they don't feel so bad. It's the emails that I get from feminists who are like, yeah, I was a feminist and now I'm not, right? And I don't know exactly what I am at this point, but thank you. Those, I think, are some of the most rewarding, because those are the ones that are the most hard won, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to question their own beliefs, and they're actually questioning them for once instead of just blindly accepting whatever their funnel fed.
Often they are coming up against this sort of like this woman with her negative experiences with men and with women who pan or defer to men, that they're not just coming up against an ideology, they're coming up against an ideology that dovetails with their personal experiences, right? And so it's essentially
Really crappy peer pressure.
well, because
Oh shit! I just noticed something.
what?
This was a video for the Makers Conference taking place in California.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they're getting into the maker community.
Wait, what? What video? What video you're talking about?
What the feminine or Hillary's praising Women's
thing-
March?
The thing that we just saw?
Yeah.
The thing that we just saw that said it was for the Makers Conference. Yeah.
What is the makers community?
Oh wait, a 3-day gathering focused on women's leadership began Monday. Oh, okay. So
Was that speech given at that conference?
no, it was made for the video, so it's not. It's the maker. It may not be the maker community. They may just have appropriated the name for their leadership conference.
Not out of the question.
Yeah.
What
Oh hey,
exactly is
Karen,
the
you
maker
have, you have more subs than Hillary Clinton. That's sort of cool.
That is kind of cool.
All right. Oh God, but maybe it's because you talk to the young people better. Okay, do we want to do the video, Brian? Cue it up.
It's because my voice isn't like nails on a chalkboard, I think.
Which
Why?
video?
The one I sent to you via the Skype.
You do a very sweet voice there, Karen.
Oh, are you talking about the white people video?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
do it.
Jesus.
Were you
I
born in
don't-
the United States, Karen? Because if you were, I'd have liked you.
I was not born in the United States. I'm sorry. I was born in Edmonton.
All right.
Okay, everybody?
I'm gonna cue it up, and also I got to give you guys the link to the SciTubes.
So you guys gotta get into his SciTubes.
Uh,
You gotta get into Brian's tubes.
Oh boy.
Get in there.
Oh my.
Oh God. All right, there you go. Let me know when everyone's in. I can't look at all this shit at the same time, so it's too much.
Get more monitors. They're fun.
We got 9 people here, and you got 7 people connected. There are 2 people who are not connected. Oh no, we got
It said
9.
9 to me.
Yep, it's good. We're good, Brian. We're good.
All right,
Let's
so we're
go.
ready. All right, let me know if you guys see this. I'll let the beginning of it play.
Yep.
Everyone sees it?
I don't.
Oh, I already saw this. Oh God.
Okay,
Dear
you're gonna
white
have to
people.
go to the beginning for me.
Yeah,
All right.
I did. All right.
Dear white,
Do you see it?
Oh, geez, let me consult my white people hive mind.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, how did she send this message to us? Is there like a white Twitter where we're all attached? It's all like feeding right into our brains or something?
it's written into things like mayonnaise, milk toast, and crackers.
I can't even
yeah.
eat mayonnaise, milk toast, or crackers.
That's unfortunate.
What is Netflix thinking here?
Perhaps talcum powder or whipped cream.
whipped
Clouds.
cream.
It's in the clouds themselves. All right. Anyway,
Netflix one.
yeah. This
Yeah,
is
this
the
is
Netflix.
Netflix.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the play button if everybody sees it.
dear white people, here's a list of acceptable Halloween costumes.
This is not about an intellectual space. It is not. It's about creating a home here. Notice,
Good thing we've clarified that.
because we are talking about Halloween costumes, and you all know how important Halloween costumes are when you're in college. So yeah. Anyway, I'm hitting play again.
Pirate, slutty nurse, any of our first 43 presidents. Top of the list of unacceptable costumes? Me.
All right.
Those actually look more like Pacific Islanders.
These costumes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the skin tone is a little bit ruddy. Or
It looks
Hairstyle
like
and
they-
jewelry. Screen.
like they put M&M stuff on their face.
I like
Yeah,
how
it looks like
face.
chocolate.
I
Yeah,
like
it
how
looks
they
like chocolate
show.
on their face.
Yeah,
What is okay? So I didn't know that this was a huge thing
It's not.
ever.
It's not.
This
But,
doesn't-
like,
this is stuff. This is literally shit that does not happen unless someone's really trying to be edgy.
yeah, most people like acknowledge that blackface is not really appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the pledging sororities at my school, the year before they like chartered, they had like a party of blackface, and it came out, and they were like just shunned from the
That's
community.
all got facials and it's all gone horribly wrong.
Yeah. I mean, even in the like you were just saying that it did happen at this one place. Even in the cases where it does happen, it's universally panned. It's not accepted. No one likes it. It usually does not end well. And I don't know what else you can say about it. I guess people that would have a problem with it here would say something like, "This is a thing that should never ever happen under any circumstances forever." And the problem is that's not how human beings work.
No.
So
as soon as you make it forbidden, people will do it just because
Yes.
of that.
If you want people to not do it, you have to make it uninteresting. That's what you do.
And now you've made it a point of free speech, which, on principle, usually I'd be like, yeah, why would you do this? But
I've never read any fairy tales. Otherwise, you know all about the power of the forbidden.
okay, but
Jonathan Harker, he disobeys Dracula.
yeah. So I mean, at this point, they're making it into something like you have to defend because you defend free speech.
And there's the other thing. There's actually like two things here. Imitation is always known to be the best form of flattery, or the strongest, or whatever.
Yeah.
And the easiest way you can take strength out of things is to have everyone do them.
That's true.
No one cares if you say the word shit anymore, because everyone says it.
Yeah.
If you're curious, this film was based on, or this TV show is basically, I guess it's a series version of a movie that is essentially the same title that came out in, I think it was 2012 or something like that. So you can always watch that, I suppose. It's supposed to be a satire. But who the fuck knows what that means anymore?
Exactly. Nowadays, it's not really clear.
Yeah.
On the internet, you never know.
You actually have to oppose what you satire. It wouldn't have been a satire. Jonathan Swift, a modest proposal, wouldn't have been a satire if he actually ate Irish babies.
Should we check with Christy Winters?
Yeah. She would know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Speaking of, let's go through the rest of this robust trailer.
I missed what she said wow to.
The blackface. It was it's edited so that it looks like she's reacting to the photos. And then it's just a bunch of revolution essentially on a college campus.
I like the use of the royal purple.
Yeah. The color purple? You like the use
royal
of that?
purple. That color is specifically royal purple.
Porphyry. Porphyry.
You missed my my pun.
Yeah, no, I got it, Brian. Don't worry.
Someone did, Brian.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed the movie, even though it's just like.
So I'm wondering why this is so deeply downvoted. It seemed pretty short.
Well, okay, we can go through one piece at a time. So when she says "Dear white people," it cuts to these extremely preppy, reasonably well-off young men that they look like they come from
and women
high status of privilege. Well, no, I'm looking at if you look at the actual video, it shows men in the shot where she says that, and then there's then it cuts to like a frat house, or is it a frat?
Interesting.
Sorority house with women.
Notice the low angle. Actually, go back to the men.
Yeah,
I'm not actually seeing that. Okay, play it.
Do you see
Interesting. Yeah, keep going, because the next shot is so they got a bunch of jocks. Stop. Yeah, this is a low angle. That's really interesting.
Yeah. Probably, and
it's much more threatening.
Notice
angle.
the chandelier looks like a halo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
sort of.
yeah. And then none of this stuff happens on accident. And I think so. People took issue with the way white people were represented, as essentially privilege, and the thing is too is that this whole discussion this didn't come out of nowhere. This has been building for a while on the internet, and the fact that it's based on this movie, which essentially has a similar narrative, the people that see this trailer are making the connection to something that they've already seen probably or know of, and they fed up. I mean, they're fed up with it. Plus, they've also posed the question: what would happen if you made a film called Dear Black People?
This reminds me of the Dear White Men, the MTV.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What are you asking for a link?
White guys, right?
Dear White Guys or Dear something like that.
Yeah,
that
Dear White Guys. Yeah.
Rantzerker Ramsey. Yeah.
I think the current top comment for this video is, what if we made a video or a new movie that they need to make is Black People Can't Swim or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So essentially, putting the shoe on the other foot.
Something like Dear Black People, stop stealing or something like that, or stop being criminals. This completely racialize all this stuff. Is this how white people normally, upper class white people, dress in college?
Who knows?
Who knows?
No.
I don't know because I'm
probably
not.
From
The
not.
US.
I mean, probably not. This is
anymore.
again. This seems a
like
little exaggerated.
This looks like from
effect.
the 60s or something like that.
Yeah, but this movie supposedly takes place today. I don't really know though. And then
Halloween
this woman, the DJ, she's supposed to be, or the radio college radio person or whatever. I think another thing people took issue to is essentially she is taking an authoritarian tone, which people generally do not respond positively to, by saying these are the Halloween costumes you're allowed to wear, these are the Halloween costumes you're not allowed to wear.
Yeah.
So,
well, when I first watched this trailer, I actually was wondering whether it was actually a satire of social justice, right? In terms of like mocking social justice, because if you look at the whole thing with the authoritarian nature of what she's saying and how arrogant she seems when she's saying it, and then you look at how they caricaturize the white people, like including that shot that Allison found interesting because it was from below rather than from above, and making it look sinister and all of this, right? I thought maybe, just maybe, it was actually something that would essentially satirize social justice warriors as the authoritarians that they actually are, rather than what they portray themselves to be, which is just like, we're just looking out for the marginalized. And the whole portrayal of white people in the trailer would be sort of what social justice warriors see white people as, rather than what white people are really like.
Right.
What I find interesting about
I was hoping that everybody who commented negatively on the trailer on YouTube was essentially had been maybe taken in by a Poe, right?
Right.
Then I read the Netflix description on the website that it's it's from an acclaimed film, right, of the same name, and I was like, okay, well, a film that was critically acclaimed, an indie film, it probably would not be lampooning social justice warriors. It would be supporting them. So
okay, here's something I want to point out. She is speaking from a position of authority, so she's saying you have to do you are forced to do what I say.
Or she's expecting it at least. She may not actually have the authority, but she's expecting it. She's expecting compliance.
That's interesting.
Because she's a student. She's not a faculty member.
But even if it is, I mean, she's presuming an authority upon herself.
What I'm saying
Anyway,
is, these are the reasons why it's probably downvoted to hell. It's based on a previous product, which people are aware of. You have there has been a lot of media that has been essentially saying "fuck white people" for the longest time. In internet years, it's only been a couple. Well, in real years, it's only been a couple of years, but in internet, time, that's like a lot. people are getting tired of it, and they're also getting tired of being told how terrible they are and how they should act and that they're privileged and all that. It's basically the same thing that men are dealing with, but it's just like you're just changing the lens basically. And I think that's why it got voted that way. They're just sick of it. So, and you know what? That is fine. I mean, I'm not saying that, obviously Netflix should make it. I'll probably watch a couple to see what it really is. Like if it's going to be, balanced, or if it's going to be one-sided, like if it's going to show the ludicrousness of both sides of this thing or what. And I guess we'll see. But I can understand why it was downvoted like that. I can see the frustration. So,
yeah.
What else? Yeah, so and then it goes into I guess it goes into this blackface thing, and this doesn't really fully encompass what the story will likely be. It's actually kind of hard to tell based on this. But if it's like the film, they'll probably just take an hour and a half and draw it out to 13 episodes or whatever. So I don't know what else to add. Notice though, you were pointing out the low angle.
Here.
On the white men, it looks a little bit more like straight on, but with the woman, it's a lower angle.
That
I don't know if you noticed that.
That one's got the royal wave down pat, though.
Well, okay, there might be a couple of reasons for that. Maybe they felt that the white men were sinister enough without having the low angle.
Perhaps. Yeah. Or I don't know, or they just wanted to fit people like up there in the shot that are up on the balcony.
I think maybe this chick who's in the center of the shot may be sort of the queen bee type thing, and like essentially, she
queen type.
She really does look evil. I mean, if you look at her pearls and her cardigan and her little sort of frilly top there, and then
that smile.
Smile. I mean, like she's totally stepped.
And the American flag there, all that on her lapel.
Yep.
She's totally got the royal wave down too. She's waving like the queen waves.
Yeah, but it's essentially like she's kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of she looks plastic. Mm-hmm. She looks like a caricature, right? Which is why I thought maybe this will be more than just a one-sided bashing of white people, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll see, because the main character, the girl, the DJ, she's supposed to be mixed. So she's actually supposed to be half white and half black in the original film. And
she definitely has some Nordic cheekbones going there.
Yeah, and her eye color.
Yeah.
It's like green eyes or something. So, yeah, that was actually supposed to be part of the character struggle, is that she put the end screens. I will.
She's part white and she hates white people?
Yeah, that she's dealing with like this, this
internalized oppression.
Right. She's struggling with this identity. She's basically got, in a way, an identity crisis. So she's overcompensating.
She's supposed to hate half of herself, right? Yeah.
So I don't know.
Internalized white hate, or whatever. Something.
Internalized racism on yourself.
Internalized reverse racism.
Reverse racism.
I mean, they can
internalized KKK. She has internalized KKK.
What was that, Allison?
That'd be like cancer?
Internalized cancer?
Yeah, like internalized racism. I don't know. Let's finish this.
I hear you.
I think we're done, right?
Yeah, I think
she's
so.
like the half-white version of an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Only he's like an Uncle Tim.
Aunt Tommy.
And Uncle Clayton. Clayton's a really white name.
That's very white.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we got another show later on today. I gotta kind of prepare for, so
Yeah, no
we'll
problem.
do another show, another post show, and I'll have something fun to talk about. Yeah, so I guess I'll stop the recording now. Thanks for joining us for the after. This was originally an after show, aired March 7th, 2017, and is totally an average example of how great our exclusive content can be. If you'd like to be able to access more after shows just like this in the future, please consider becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/honeybadgerradio.